Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee and Chat with Hallee Bridgeman. I'm so happy you could join me. I have my cup of coffee, so I hope you have a cup of coffee or tea and have a few minutes while we chat. So I went to bed with wet hair and woke up to pouring down rain, and so this is what my hair looks like today, and it's just going to have to be what my hair looks like today. I can't help it. So happy Monday. Today is our first official day of summer break. And we're really kind of curious to see what summer looks like this year, because normally we're seriously like leave, travel, go to the next place, go to the next place, come home, do laundry for a day, repack the car, pet the dogs, load everything back up, go to this, go to this. And this year so far, everything but one thing has been canceled. And I don't know if that one thing will be canceled or not, but it's in mid-July. So they're probably just continuing to wait and see what life looks like. And then they have space camp, but their space camp is scheduled to start after our homeschool starts. So really after summer's over. So yeah, we'll see what summer looks like. I have massive deadlines in front of me. I have 5 books I need to finish by September of 2021. And so this summer I will be writing as much of that as possible because there's no school. And now I'll be a homeschool mom with like massive deadlines. So I have to like kind of adjust the way I do things, which is a good thing. But we got all their homeschool materials the other day, and Greg and I spent hours like binding things up and labeling things and getting the boys' shelves built and up and everything ready. And so Scott's like really upset because he had just finished school, and he's wondering why we're taking over his room with more school when he should be on summer break. And so we've assured him that he doesn't even have to look at anything until August. So, all right. So today's question is, it was basically, how do you plot, how do you come up with storylines? So that's a good question for me to answer today because I came up with a storyline yesterday. So, I have a series called, I forget what I named it, Love and Honor maybe, but it's a Special Forces team. And so I had 4 books in this series idea, and then there's a problem with the last book, and I was asked to, basically come up with another book. And so I did that yesterday. And so I knew I had this specific character who would be in the book, this specific man, this specific team member of the Special Forces team, of which I've already plotted 4 books. And so I already had his character in my mind. And since my books are entirely character driven, having my characters established in my mind makes the books just kind of go. And so, so I sat down and considered, what is it that Special Forces teams do? Like realistically, not Hollywoodish, because my intent of writing my Special Forces series was to create a realistic representation of a Special Forces team, but then have it still be as exciting as anything that, Arnold Schwarzenegger could come up with. So I have my Love and Honor series, or whatever I honestly don't remember what I named it. I can look really quick because now that I don't know, it's making me crazy. So I said, okay, I have this one character, and now Love and Honor. How about that? I remembered. Okay, so he was my base. Now what is my story? And I wanted it to be somewhere out, a domestic terrorist attack, but the Special Forces A team would not be used domestically. They would be used internationally more so than domestically. So I have a terrorist attack. I have terrorists who are hiding in a country that is not a friendly nation to us. And so basically my storyline is that this team has to go in and extract the terrorists alive to bring them back and question them to uncover plans for more terrorist activity. And so, okay, so that's the plot. Who's my woman? And so I contemplated, do I want her to be their pilot? No, because likely in some scenarios it would be a C-130, in some scenarios it would be a boat. You know, I mean, there was really no way for me to realistically have it be a pilot that could interact with my guy. And so I decided, okay, well, if I start with domestic terrorism, then that would be the FBI. But let's say this is a terrorist organization for which she is like the expert. And so she could come and liaise with all of the players involved, you know, CIA, Homeland Security, and then the military attachment that will help extract these terrorists. And so, and I gradually, all day in my mind, built this story and these scenarios based on who my characters were. And then sat down and said, okay, who are they to each other? And I created a backstory, and I created a current story, and I created a future story in my mind. I mean, I didn't sit down and write this down, but you can do that. And then, okay, so what is their spiritual story? So here's her spiritual story and her struggles, and here's his spiritual foundations and his strengths, and bring them together and have that be, you know, something that brings them even closer together romantically. And so that by the end of everything, all of it together, all of it coming together, I had my story idea. And then I sat down and put it on paper and said, here's him, or here's her. It starts here with this terrorist attack, and here's what happens. A, B, C, D, all the way down to the very end where they are, you know, together and wanting to be together and loving each other and loving God forever. And so that's how I build a story. And that's honestly, that's how I do it every time. I have to get the characters in my head of who they are. What are their motivations? Why are they doing what they're doing? What is their, you know, place in the world as it relates to everyone else's place in the world? And when I have that and I can bring the characters together, then the story just kind of flows out of that. And that's how I build a story. So thank you for that question. If you have a question for me, my website, HalleeBridgeman.com, there's on the sidebar, there's a button that says Ask Hallee, and it will take you to a Google form. And I would love to hear from you. I love answering questions. It makes Monday morning coffee and chat so much easier if I have something to talk about. And you guys have an amazing week. If you're still in school, get it done and join us in summer break. And I will see y'all next week. God bless you.